rise in psychotic breaks and violent crime in the next 3 years. People were already at their breaking points coming into this year, and the stress keeps piling on, and it's nowhere near stopping. Trump's budget bill is going to drive people to snap. And people have every right to snap. A lot of people have never known a single day of financial stability in their entire lives. They don't have access to jobs that can get them there. They have no way out of the day-to-day fear and hell that they're living in, and it's only going to get worse. Now pile on thousands and thousands of dollars worth of medical debt, a failing job market, cost of living prices that are going up every single day. He's about to start another round of tariff negotiations this week. And on top of that, constant freakish storms because of the climate. And I forgot to mention extreme amounts of societal and political unrest. I predict that we're going to see a very extreme increase in violent crimes. It just makes me sick to my stomach knowing that it doesn't have to be this way at all. Humans could and should be banding together to overcome all of these problems. Things like climate change, for instance, world hunger, new pandemics. There's all kinds of things that we could be doing. And instead, we're kowtowing to a handful of sociopaths and letting them destroy the planet. Nowhere near.
All right. First and foremost, before I get started with this lesson, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Wadash. Next, double honors to the apostles, the elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well, that have taught me this truth, peace, and salutations unto the hopeful elect. And it's your brother Debar Kabash coming back at you with a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I pray that this lesson here will be edifying to someone, man. All right. So I just did a video, right, talking about niggerdom. You see that? Now I want to talk about Esau, Edom's pale ass. You see that red ass? You see? And let me say something here, man. You know, listen to this woman here, you know, go on and on, you know, about, you know, how we should come together and, you know, bugged the hell out, man. Bugged out. You see that? She's, you know, she's crashing out. You know, but all this we coming together and all that, because, you know, when I was listening to this little clip here, this uploaded by the brother, the Hopeful Elect 3, Shalom, brother. He said, great misery is coming to Babylon the Great. And you know what? Great miseries are coming to Babylon the Great, man. Right? But at the end of the day, right, great miseries are coming to who? Esau, Edom, man. Right? And these heathens. But primarily, right, the so-called white man, woman, and child. You heard what I said, man. The so-called white man, woman, and child. So this lesson here is really, this you know what, this lesson here is really for you damn Edomites, man. You white people. You see that? Self-proclaimed white people, because that shit came about in Virginia. I forget exactly which year, you know, but that's just some kind of social bullshit construct that you came up with. We're white and they're black, right? You know, no, you're red and your asses are going into slavery, and I'm gonna prove it, man. All right, so you Edomites out there that's hurting, you know, because you can't afford your damn, you know, your damn Starbucks or your Panera Bread and all that bullshit. All right, you know, live it up, man. Live it the hell up. You see that? Because your judgment is coming, man. Right, for all the shit that you did to Israel. You see? And all you simple ass people out there, right, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, if you look at me, right, and think that I'm teaching hate, man, what the hell? Think about it for a second, man. Think about all the shit that they have done to us. You see that? Now, have I done anything to anyone? Hell no. I don't know who you people are that are listening to the video, man. Right, but I do know one damn thing. Right, Esau, according to the King James Holy Bible, right, the book that you may have in your house, the so-called white man is going into slavery. Period. And there's nothing that no one can do about it. You see that? Let's go ahead and grab a scripture first. Right? Because, I mean, that's exactly what it is, man. Salakia. Let me see here. I want to grab this first. This is the book of Jeremiah. Right? Let me see here. Salakia. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 16. Right? And it reads, therefore, right, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. Do you see that? Now I'm going to stop right here, man. Right? Now, what this is talking about, because the Bible is actually written by and for the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American. And when you go through history, right, when you go through history in the Bible, and also when you just go through history that happened here on the land, on the soils of America, right, they devoured us, man. They killed us. They hung us in trees, right? You women out there, they took your babies, right, and fed them to alligators and bobcats, right, and bears and shit, mountain lions. You men out there, they totally castrated y'all, you know, cut your rod off, man, in front of your children. You see that? And yeah, you ever seen that movie Django? And how they had Jamie Foxx ass upside down, and the so-called white man came in there and was ready to, yeah, man, cut his thing off. You see, you can't forget about that history, man. And you still got men out there that's still getting hung to this day. Right? And you women out there, don't get me started on you, man. Right? You women out there, you guys were raped. Right? They took you, a lot of you women, right? And they laid y'all asses down and tied horses to y'all, man. And ripped y'all asses apart. You see that? Limb by limb. And they also cut your stomachs out and killed your unborn children. You know, but I'm the one that's teaching hate, right? Anyway, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee, you see that? Who devoured us? I just said it, man. The so-called white man. And also these other heathens. The Arabs, you know, the Africans, all that, man. Moab, Ammon. And all thine adversaries, now we know who the hell the adversary is, right? Every one of them, you see that? And then say some of them shall go into captivity. What the hell does that mean, brother? Right? What does captivity mean, man? All right, oh, nah, brother, right? You breaking it down wrong. No, I'm not. You see that? And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. You see that? So this is what's coming, right, for you white people out there. I want to read this too. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16, the NLT. But all who devour you will be devoured, and all your enemies, you see that, will be sent into exile. You see, you gotta be careful here. All who plunder you will be plundered. You see that? And all who attacked you will be attacked. You see that? And hey, man, when you think about some of the, you know, when you think about some of the cities, right, and a lot of you so-called, you know, so-called blacks, Latino, Native Americans had, Esau burnt them down or flooded them out. You see that? So yeah, right, it's a perfect screenshot. You damn so-called white people, you guys are ready to go into slavery. That's just the facts, right? Fuck all that. We coming together as a people. We're one human race. What the hell happened to all that when we was out there on them goddamn plantation fields? Right? Picking strawberries and cotton and shit, man. You know, picking sugar cane. You ever tried to pick that shit before? Sugar cane? Yeah, all right. You're going into slavery.
Breaks in violent crime in the next 3 years. People were already at their breaking points coming into this year. And
now, this woman here, I believe that she's an Edomite. I could be wrong, right? Because scripture talk about, you know, speckled bird, you know, but I believe she's an Edomite, man. Right? When I was listening to her, I was like, you know, like she don't know that she going, these white people going into slavery, man. Let's listen to a little bit more.
the stress keeps piling on and it's nowhere near stopping. Trump's budget bill is going to drive people to snap. And people have every right to snap. A lot of people have never known a single day of financial stability in their entire life.
Yeah, right? Talk about who? The Israelites. We've never known a damn day of financial stability, man. And that go back to the curses. You see how our lives shall hang in doubt, man, day and night, right? Because of your people, right? Shooting Jake in the street, man. And ultimately it's judgment. You know, it's ultimately judgment, you know, that allow you so-called white people, right, to put your foot on our necks. But it's all good, though. The tables are turning, right? And just because right? You see your country turning into shit, your age, your rulership turning to age. We don't feel bad for you. We got next. So we want this place to go to hell down. You know? People, you know, anyway, let's listen a little bit more, man.
They don't have access to jobs that can get them there. They have no way out of the day-to-day fear and hell that they're living in.
Yeah, Israel, man. Starting with the so-called black man, right? Black woman, Latino woman. Yeah, this is the shit that we got to deal with. See, she's talking about her people, right? You know, how, you know, her people can't go out to Target no more, you know, and afford, you know, whatever. You know, how her people can't, you know, go to damn, what's the name of that damn place? Tropical smoothies and shit, man. That's what she's talking about. You know, instead of her buying that damn limited edition Telluride, right? Now she got to buy the, you know, the floor model, man. You know, so when I hear Esau talking about, you know, all the shit they going through, who gives a fuck? You white people, we're going to slavery.
And it's only going to get worse. Now pile on thousands and thousands of dollars worth of medical debt, a failing job market, cost of living prices that are going up every single day. He's about to start another round of tariff negotiations this week. And on top of that, constant freakish storms because of the climate. And I forgot to mention extreme amounts of societal and political unrest. I predict that we're going to see a very extreme increase in...
You don't predict shit. It's Bible prophecy. You know, Esau, you know. And see what it is this right here, man. A lot of 2/3 and these Edomites, they do videos. After listening to our videos, starting with our apostles, right? They hear our videos, and we telling them about prophecy, about, you know, civil unrest, you know, Jacob's trouble, all that, man. Right? And then they hear our videos, get scared, and then add their own twist to it, right? And then their videos get thousands and hundreds of fucking views, right? But then they totally just disregard where they learned the information from, man. Right? You know, so, you know, just wanted to put that out there, man. Right? But at the end of the day, right, you see the title.
And violent crimes. It just makes me sick to my stomach knowing that it doesn't have to be this way at all. Humans could and should be banding together to overcome all these problems.
Now she want to, you know, now the so-called white man want to band together, right, with Jake. Somebody banding with your ass, right? You want to go band something? Go watch the movie Band of Brothers. You know, band that, right? And it was a bunch of Edomites that band together. You know, but it's all good, though, because the angels of the Lord great to band together, right, and take you heathens down. You see that? Yes. Go ahead and grab a precept here, right? And I don't have too much more to say, man. You see the title of the lesson, right? This is the book of Revelation. They hate it when you bring this one out. You know, and this is the New Testament. Revelation chapter 13, starting at verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. You see that? So if you can hear what the hell I'm saying, right, and you have a spiritual ear, listen to this, man. All right? It says, he that leadeth into captivity, who... Now, you really got to have some kind of common sense here. But a lot of our people, they don't have common sense. Right? You so-called white people out there. Who led the so-called black man into slavery? Who did that? You know? And, you know, Esau say, well, it wasn't my people. It was your own people. It wasn't me. It was my dad. One thing about Esau, Edom, that I noticed just by working with them and shit like that, they take no accountability at all. None. Esau, the so-called white man, woman and child, take no accountability at all. But it's all good, though, because they ain't have no choice but to take accountability, right, when Yahweh Shai pull up, man. All right? Let's keep going here. Continuing on. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. What does that mean? Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And who are the saints? The Israelites. You see that? Let me prove that. Let me see here. All right? You know, well, it's talking about everybody. No, you don't know what you're talking about. Saints are the Israelites. I want to say it's in the book of Psalms. Let me see here. I think I spelled that wrong. Let me see here. Just a quick lesson. Nothing deep. I ain't had this queued up. All right? Let me see here. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints. See that? Even of the children of who? Israel. It doesn't say the children of everybody. Right? It doesn't say the children of band together, man. A people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. That's right. So the Israelites, right, we're near unto the Lord, man. That's the point. So I'm going to play a little bit more of this here, because I listened to this damn woman here, and I was like, what the hell is she talking about? You're going into slavery.
All of these problems, things like climate change, for instance, world hunger,
Yeah, who did all of that, man? Right, climate change and world hunger. Ultimately, it is the Lord, right? But you got to ask yourself, who is the man that's at the helm of the ship, man? Right? Who's the captain of this boat? Right? It's the goddamn white man. You see, then you got the raggedy ass, flat bootied ass white woman, right, whispering in his ear, telling him to do more debaucherous shit. You white people will pay.
There's all kinds of things that we could be doing. And instead we're kowtowing to a handful of sociopaths and letting them destroy the planet.
No, you destroyed it. Your people destroyed the planet, damn it. When you think about the water, you brothers and sisters out there that's listening, who the hell do you think polluted the water? Right? Who the hell do you think polluted the air? Right? Who in the hell do you think polluted the food? Who did that, man? Who brought your ancestors over here on cargo slave ships? You got to think about that shit, man. Who the one that put drugs and shit in your neighborhoods and your communities, man? Who's putting guns? Who's making the guns and selling them so Jake can kill themselves? You white people. Yeah. Let's go ahead and read a few more of these. I'm going to end this lesson here. Right? Because, Psalm chapter 137, verse 8. And it reads, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. You see that? This is what's coming, man. Happy shall he be that reward of thee as thou hast served us. You see that? And you know what? We're going to be so freaking happy when we see your kingdom fall apart, Mr. White Man and woman. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. What does that mean? You want me to read it again? Psalm 137, verse 9. Happy shall he be, right, that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. That's not symbolic. That's literal. You guys did it to us. So we're going to do the same thing to you. I forget the name of that movie, but it showed a scene where it was these cops. And they made, so-called white people, white man. And they made Jake get down on his knees, right? And they told him to open up his mouth and to put his teeth on the curb. You see that? I forget the name of the movie. And the officer took his foot and stomped on the back of the man's head, man, until his goddamn teeth fell out. Was that not horrible? So we're going to do some horrible shit to you too. Period. Mr. White Man and woman and child. Exodus 21:16. And he that stealeth a man, see that? And selleth him, 35, 45, 55, sold, right? Or if he be found in his hand, it says he shall surely be put to death. You see that? So this is what's coming. It's coming. Yeah. This one's for you, devil. just a liar and just a bunch of, I mean, you white people know how you are. You guys lie about everything. You have take no accountability for shit. That's where Eve gets it from. Take no accountability for shit. You tell a bunch of faggy jokes and all of that shit, man. You guys need to be in chains. Psalm 149:8. Matter of fact, let me see here. I'm gonna start a verse up. All right. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 149, and I'm going to start at verse 6, and it reads, "Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth." Who is this talking about? "And a two-edged sword in their hand." Okay? "To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people." You see that? If you're not an Israelite, you're considered a heathen, and you will receive punishments. You know that? "To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron." That's right, man. Your higher ups, your elite, your Rothschilds, your Blumenbergs, your Gettys, your DuPonts, right? Y'all, yeah, their old asses, old frail asses is gonna be rounded up, man, and have chains on them too, and they're going straight into slavery, hardcore slavery. You say what the hell you want to say, all right? But guess what? It's prophecy. Colossians 3:25. "But he that doeth wrong shall receive the wrong which he have done. And there is no respecter of persons." So, like I say, just want to do something real quick. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. I was sitting here listening to this woman. I was like, her and her people are going into slavery if she's an Edomite. You see that? All you blue-eyed devils, all right, you guys will go into servitude. This one is for you, Mr. White Man, woman, and child. Shalom.